Welcome. Today we examine MCP tool poisoning, the attack class Invariant Labs disclosed in early April 2025. Malicious instructions hide inside a tool's description, enter the agent's trusted context, and fire on every invocation. Checkpoint Research escalated it with CV 2025-54136, nicknamed MCPoison, affecting cursor 1.2.4 and earlier. In the next few minutes, we cover how poisoning works, the cursor config swap flaw, why it matters, and how we defend against it. Let's start with the core idea behind MCP tool poisoning. Here are the essentials of MCP tool poisoning in plain language, what it is, and why it was introduced. Invariant Labs showed in April 2025 that MCP tool descriptions returned by tools/list enter the agent's context window as trusted content. The model reads hidden instructions, often disguised as code comments, and acts on them without a user ever seeing them. Unlike a one-time prompt injection, a poison description is reread each time the tool is listed or called. Invariant's proof of concept hid instructions that fired repeatedly, making the malicious behavior persistent rather than a single event. Invariant Labs built a trivia game MCP server whose hidden instructions targeted a separate WhatsApp MCP server on the same agent. The agent followed the embedded commands, pulled WhatsApp history through the trusted server, and leaked it as normal traffic. The attack is most effective where clients auto-approve tool calls because no human reviews the description before execution. OWASP cataloged this in 2025 as MCP03 tool poisoning in its MCP Top 10 project. Now, let us look at why MCP tool poisoning matters in practice. Here is where MCP tool poisoning shows up in real products, teams, and decisions. Checkpoint Research disclosed C 2025-54136 on July 16, 2025. In cursor 1.2.4 and earlier, an approved .cursor MCP config was never revalidated, so an attacker could swap a benign entry for a malicious command and gain persistent code execution on every launch. Cursor tied approval to the MCP key name rather than the underlying command or arguments. An attacker committed a harmless MCP.json to a shared repo, waited for approval, then changed the same entry to a reverse shell that ran silently on reopen. Cursor patched it in version 1.3 on July 29, 2025. Now any change to an MCP configuration, even adding a single space, triggers a mandatory reapproval prompt. Upgrading past 1.2.4 is the direct fix for this specific flaw. Beyond patching, we pin tool descriptions, diff them on each update, and require human reapproval whenever a description or config changes. Disabling silent auto-approve closes the gap that made both the invariant attack and MCPoison practical. Let us recap the key takeaways on MCP tool poisoning and what to do next. MCP tool poisoning, disclosed by Invariant Labs in early April 2025, hides malicious instructions inside a tool's description, which the agent treats as trusted content and acts on at every invocation. CV 2025-54136, named MCPoison by Checkpoint Research, let attackers swap an approved cursor MCP config for a malicious command, yielding persistent code execution on every launch in versions up to 1.2.4. Cursor fixed the flaw in version 1.3 on July 29, 2025, now requiring reapproval for any MCP configuration change, however small. Running anything past 1.2.4 closes that specific hole. Our durable defense is to diff and revalidate tool descriptions on every change, require human approval, and disable silent auto-approve, since OWASP now tracks this as MCP03 tool poisoning in its 2025 MCP Top 10. An AI tool you approved once can be quietly swapped for a credential stealer. No second prompt. The defenses are concrete. Patch pass cursor 1.2.4. Revalidate every tool description, and end silent auto-approve. For more information, visit Standarity.com. See you in the next video.